Howdy dudes, I'm Hilah, and today on Hilah's Texas Kitchen we're going to learn about the Cajun influence on Texas food. We're going to go talk to my pal Curtis, who's a real honest-to-God Cajun, and he's going to show us his restaurant's famous Oysters Contraband, and then we're going to come back here. I'm going to show you my more Tex-Mex version at home because Oyster Nachos, right? Come on. Evangaline Cafe. I'm totally pronouncing that wrong.
The way I basically say it is Evangaline Cafe. But a lot of people here in Texas, they'll say Evangaline or Evangaline, and it's all okay to me, as long as they're here saying it.
Can you talk a little bit about East Texas and Louisiana? A lot of crossover there.
Oh, there's a lot of crossover there. Back in the 40s, I guess during and after World War II, there was a lot of people from South Louisiana that relocated to the Beaumont Golden Triangle area. And it's the same terrain. I mean, there's still the same marsh and kind of, coastal fishing and all of that. Mosquitoes, of course. Yeah.
A couple of y'all's most famous things here are the Oysters Contraband and the stuffed pistolette.
Well, those are two things that kind of been created here. So what we have is the chips that we fry here every day, kind of like kettle chips, freshly battered fried oysters, and then the sausage jalapeno remoulade sauce on top of that.
And we have some beers.
We have the Abita beer.
Never too early for beer.
You have the most popular of all their seasonals has become the strawberry, which is great.
It actually, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like...
It's not sweet. Okay, let's try these. I'm gonna follow your lead on this one.
It's kind of just... But there's nothing like that warm, fresh oyster with that remoulade on there.
The remoulade's got a nice spice just at the end.
It's difficult to eat these elegantly. All the oysters I get come from an oyster house in Anahuac, Texas. It's a little town on the north end of Galveston Bay, and there's a huge oyster production company there, Jerry's Oyster House. And Rita came through and devastated Lake Charles and Beaumont. And then with the BP thing a few years ago, we had to get them. We were getting them from the East Coast. They're just not as good to me. I know it's all because of what I'm used to and what I've always had and all of that. But I was thinking, oh, yeah, Washington oysters, they're probably going to be great, coming out of freezing cold water and all of that, but they didn't seem to be as flavorful as, the Gulf oysters.
Why do you call them Oysters Contraband?
There's a big famous redfish dish in New Orleans called redfish pontchartrain, and it's got a white wine cream sauce on it. And so somebody made it and they called it redfish pontchartrain. Well, being from Lake Charles, there's a bayou that runs through the heart of Lake Charles, Louisiana, and it's called the Contraband Bayou. And I grew up on the Contraband Bayou, fishing and swimming and all of that, so I called it Oysters Contraband. But without going through that story, there was a woman that used to work for me, and her customers asked that all the time, and her response was, because they're so good, they should be illegal. So that works well too. That's a great answer. So I like that.
such a great combination of textures and flavors. That remoulade sauce is so piquant, to use a fancy word, and this creamy oyster with a little crunchy, warmed up, super crunchy chip. Bang up combination, guys. You can totally put it on a potato chip if you want it a little bit more like Evangaline Cafe, or you can just go to Evangaline Cafe and eat it there. All right, tell Curtis I sent you. Thanks for watching, and see you next week for more Hilah's Texas Kitchen. Bye.